Hi, Ray here. Today I'd like to give you my review of the Outdoor Vitals 2-person tent. And I'm also going to give you a helpful hint about an easier way to pack this up. So stay tuned, we'll get right to it. The Outdoor Vitals Dominion 2-person tent is actually a pretty large 2-person tent. It's 86.5 inches long and 55 inches wide. So I think you'll find that be a little bit larger than most 2-person tents. Now, the weight on this tent is 5 pounds 12 ounces, including the footprint, and that's certainly right in line with most 2-person tents. And given that this gives you a little more space, that's probably pretty darn good. I took this thing out on an overnight, and I'll show you some of that video. Actually, I videoed the whole thing at the overnight, but I lost some sound on the way, so I have to do some of this indoors to redo it. The cool thing about this is that you can actually take this out and do it in 3 different components. You can do the entire tent with the fly and the stakes, which is 5 pounds 12 ounces. You can just take the tent body itself with the screened-in mesh doors and so forth, and the poles and the footprint, and that's going to drop it to 3 pounds 9 ounces. Or you can just take the footprint, poles, and the fly, and it's going to drop that weight down to 3.1 ounces. So depending on the weather conditions, you can use this in a variety of different ways. So I'm going to switch over to the video of setting this up, giving you some first impressions of the tent at the campsite, and then I will come back and finish my review. It's about 5:30. Sunset's going to be about 7, but I'm in a pretty heavily treed area here of pines, so I suspect it's going to get dark a little bit sooner. I'm already in pretty good shape for firewood, so I should be able to have a good fire going this evening. And so I think the next thing I probably ought to do is get that tent set up. So let's get after that. It took me maybe 13 or 14 minutes to set it up, but I'm sure I'll get a lot faster at that. Both sides have 2 large vestibules. Here's the other side, so you can enter and exit from both sides of the tent. Nice zippers all around, and also Velcro on all the tabs here. So this has really got a nice rain gutter going down there. There are guy outs for the top too if it's going to be a windy day, as well as on the side of the fly. Didn't use those. I mean, there was really no need. Nice little guy outs here. A nice touch is that all of these guy outs they kind of sparkle at night, so you know where they are. It's quite large. As I said, it's a 2+ person tent, so on the inside it's pretty large, and when you've got that fly open, nice bit of screen. Oh, I got a little stick bug visiting me. Don't see those very often. And little sack up here on top to put things on. I forgot to take my little light off of there last night. But plenty of room. This is a very roomy tent. And the other thing I like about it is no problem sitting up in this tent. Even if you're over toward the side, you can sit up just fine. Little guy, need to get you out of here because I'm going to be putting it away pretty soon. I don't want to hurt you. Okay, here we go. There we go. Go about your business. Okay, so that's the inside, brief overview. One other thing that's nice about this is it does have on the sides here, it's got this little area where you can take this here and you can poke this stick out and it will it'll hold that out like that. So even if you've got the fly down, you've got an area where you can let the tent breathe a little bit up top there, just like that. So that's kind of a nice feature too. So, well, I'll tell you what, all in all, I am very satisfied with this tent. Outdoor Vitals, as you may or may not know, does a great job on their pricing. So this tent was under $200, and I'll look up the exact price, but it's a great tent. I'll put some of the particulars in on the screen in terms of the denier and how heavy it is and so forth, but in my view, it's a great little tent. Here's the Outdoor Vitals tent set up without the fly. Two big openings on both sides. It is really a very nice sized tent. So one of the things that I found to be just a little annoying, I guess, about these tent poles, and I'm sure it's not this tent in particular, but any tent that uses these kinds of poles, is that when you're trying to fold them up and put them away, you'll get one side done and then you want to go work on the other side, and while you're doing that, the first side starts to come undone and they're flopping all over the place. So what I did for that was I took a piece of Velcro, put it on one of the inside poles, and then I can wrap that around. So I get the first side done, I wrap the Velcro around it. The second side, I can start to put that back together, wrap the Velcro around it, and both sides are now nice and tight and easier to deal with, at least I think so. So it was a pretty simple and quick solution to something that, you know, I'm sure happens to everybody, but it's just a little bit annoying when you're trying to get these things all gathered up and put them away. So you might try this, a little bit of Velcro on one of the posts, wrap it around all of them, bundles them together really nicely and securely, and makes it easy to put it in the stuff sack. Well, I think, as you could probably tell by some of the comments I made when I was out on my overnight, I'm pretty impressed with this Outdoor Vitals Dominion two-person tent. Large tent, a lot of room. Set it up with the fly because it was a little cold outside. I had no condensation whatsoever in that tent. It's still well ventilated, even with the fly on there. Easy to set up, easy to take down. Durable materials, I think high quality stuff. I like the fact that Tayson has designed this with these little compression straps. That's one thing that, being an outdoorsman himself, Tayson, who runs Outdoor Vitals, I think pays a lot of attention to detail and trying to make sure that his products have things that help us out there while we're backpacking and camping that he wished he had, and stuff that he had bought prior to that. So he does a great job with his designs. The quality of these and the value of the stuff from Outdoor Vital I have found to be superb. So 2 thumbs up for the Dominion two-person tent. Very pleased with it. Go out there and take a look at it. Well, I hope my review of the Outdoor Vitals Dominion two-person tent was of help to you. If I missed anything or you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Hopefully you'd like to subscribe to my channel and like my videos. And other than that, thanks for watching.